You're giving me more work. I already have to edit it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna pretend you're not even there. I'm just gonna block you from the camera.
You should. It'll be like a surprise reveal. Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Hope, and we talk about writing, reading, and everything like it. This is my cousin, Tammy. She's gonna join me because I don't have anything new to talk about in regards to my story, but just to update you, I am 158 pages in, 83,000 words, so it's coming along. But instead of boring you talking about the same problems I've been talking about, I thought I would have her on, and my little brother might come in later, and we're just gonna talk about, I don't 100% know.
I don't really know.
What? But something related to writing. I was trying to think of questions, actually, as I was, like, driving here from work, for real. I was thinking about it, and I thought we could talk about, like, the first thing that you wrote, like, the first story you wrote, and then your first, like, real story you wrote. Because, like, for me, my first story that I wrote, I think I was in first grade, and it was a 7-page, like, front and back of, like, a notebook paper page story about taking care of a cheetah cub. That was my first story.
Like, I don't know. I can't even remember what my first story was.
Mine was for school. It was a school assignment.
I mean, I think I wrote about, like, if
Wait.
my life was, like, exactly how I pictured it.
Oh, like in those journals that you used to have to do on, like,
Yeah.
young grades? I
And,
remember those.
and I think I wrote that I wanted to be president but live in a castle.
That's it.
I wanted to be the first female
That's-
president and live in a castle.
You were like, White House, though?
I was like,
No.
but the White House, she's canceled.
Never.
So
I would
we
never.
gotta be in a castle. So.
And so then is the first, like, I don't even want to call it a real story, but is the first real story you ever wrote the same one as mine, Dreams and Reality?
Yeah. Ew, not that.
I don't really want to talk about the context of it, but it's also a video, so, like, I have to make it have a purpose. So maybe just, like, compare the things that you did back then to the way you write now.
Uh-huh.
Like, what was the thing that we did a lot that was super cringy?
I think
Switching tenses.
Switching tenses and
That's
like,
bad. Don't. That's an easy edit.
Yeah.
You just pick a tense, because when you read it, you will notice it right away. Right away.
Yeah.
No.
I think like how we kind of described like them going about their days too, like the minuscule details.
Hyper detailed.
Yeah.
Hyper detailed.
We're like, I put on my blue shirt today.
Not
with
even
my
just
pants.
not even just blue, like the color of everything. If it had like any kind of design, like I think specifically she wears like a striped top because I owned a striped top, and like the way they did their makeup, we got the details
like
for
painstakingly putting in these terrible
that nobody
details.
cares about.
And it's like, okay,
You could have just said, "I got ready for the day."
got ready for the day.
Okay, so that's something else. Like, do you remember do you still, like, get ideas for stories the same way that you did when you first started writing, when we were, like, 12? Because when I was 12, I feel like all of my ideas basically would come from some other form of media that I consumed, like, either, like, a character that I'd seen or something like that. Well, really, it was just, after a certain point, it was that I created one character, and I just kept
and you just
dropping
cast them in all this.
dropping that person. Legitimately,
Spin-offs.
we used the same 4 character names
ones.
in, like
like
10 different stories.
literally
that
every
we
single
made?
one for like a good year. I would say.
Longer than a year.
At least a
Longer
year.
than a year. It was
Maybe,
definitely
like-
longer than a year.
Yeah.
That was probably like 12 to 14 at
Yeah.
least. Maybe 12 to 15.
We could never betray them. And they were never like very different either.
You know what's weird though is like now I can't use any of those names.
I will literally vomit.
Not even as a side character, not even a passing mention. It's not gonna happen.
I don't even like it. I can't even like have a name that sounds too similar. I'm like, oop.
I have names that sound similar because the name I used to use was Elle, and I have like Acella. That's close.
Yeah.
Anyways, I used to do that, and then now, almost all of my ideas either come from a dream that I had, that I wake up and I remember just like a tiny bit, or like scrolling Pinterest and seeing a picture that then I'm like, for some reason that just like sparks something in my head.
Yeah, I see stuff like that, or because I work at a theme park and there's so many different things happening all the time.
People watching.
And yeah, so I'll be like people watching and I'll see one small thing and I just like create a whole idea that's probably the farthest thing from the truth. Most people that come are boring. Not to roast them, but
Okay, my little brother. Okay, yeah. My little brother decided to come in. He also has a YouTube channel. I don't know how to describe the content that he makes. Game reviews is what he said he was gonna make.
I did make one.
You made one.
It's half of the videos
Yeah. I'll link his channel. It's actually pretty funny in a weird way. You don't write stories, right? You just do D&D campaigns. I mean, those are stories, but like you're not writing like books for enjoyment. You're writing D&D campaigns for playing, mostly.
Never games.
So since he's here and he doesn't write stories, and also because it seems like it's going to be hard to talk about things we've written before without explaining them, and if I explained them, I would be exposing myself for being a really bad, cringy writer in my past and possibly currently. So instead, we're just going to talk about books that we like and that you should read because they're good. And you said you have a new favorite, which is interesting to me because I feel like it's, my guess previously would have been a Harry Potter book, but now, I don't know.
It's no longer Harry Potter. I think I've moved on from that
period in your life.
Wizarding world, if you...
So your new favorite book, anyway, is not Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's called The Beautiful, and it's about a girl named Celine, and...
Do you know who the author is or no?
It's like Renee, but I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
I'll look it up and I'll just put it in the bottom.
I don't know how to pronounce it, so I don't want to say it and then butcher it, but her first name's Renee. And it's like about this girl Celine, and she's basically fleeing her past in France, and she goes to New Orleans in like the late 1800s, and she meets this guy, and it like turns into this like whirlwind of like some girls start to come up like murdered in the city. It's really interesting.
So it's like a romance and a mystery and a fantasy.
Yeah, it's like all three of them came into one, but yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So is there something particular about her writing style that makes you like it a lot?
I think I like the characters. I like the way she writes them. I feel like she didn't really have to like stick with a box of like one type of character.
So anything you don't like about it?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Is that plot related? The way
Not
you said?
plot related. I like the plot, but I think like sometimes just because like the girl's like supposed to be like from France, they will use like French terms.
Oh, and you're
and it's not always 100% able to like guess it from the context.
Did you figure out what your favorite book is?
My favorite book is the Game Design Workbook. It's an assigned reading for my class. It starts off in chapter 1 explaining what a game is.
So you read to learn, you don't read for enjoyment? Or did you just also genuinely enjoy it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun read.
Alright. I think even still my favorite, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between like, there's the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan, which is about like a more amplified, not accurate version of Wicca and magic and witches and romance and drama and all of that, which I like a lot. It's very entertaining, very easy to read. The plot is very like twisty and turny, which I like, and the characters are really, really good. I don't like some things of it, like sometimes stuff gets repetitive, like especially character descriptions. Like every book she introduces the characters and re-describes them again. But I also really like Fire and that whole series by Kristen Cashore. I mean, the plot is really good as well, and the characters are really good, but I like Fire in particular from that series that she did for the romance because it's amazing. I normally don't like really dense books, especially in fantasy, because that means they're going to have like a lot of imagery, and I'm not an imagery person. I think I've talked about that before, but the way she does her imagery, I really like. The only thing I don't like about it is something that's just a fantasy book thing, which is like information dumping a little bit, where they tell you just like a whole bunch of stuff about the world and all the civilizations, and it's just a lot of information that doesn't really stick. My goal, if I had like a goal to aspire to, it would be to be as good of a writer as Kristen Cashore, like really good. I also really like The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I'm really bad at picking a favorite, if anything. Also, I feel like we should say, because it is coronavirus times, he's been isolated by himself in a dorm room for months now, and she also practices being safe, like wearing a mask out in public when she has to go. Oh yeah, I guess I should tell you guys that, because the last time I was on here, I was freaking out about possibly being exposed, and according to my job and everything, they say that I wasn't exposed. I don't know how they know that, but that's what they're telling me. And talked to a doctor, and he also said that if I don't have symptoms, not to worry about it. So I hope you enjoyed my two guests here. I don't know when or if they'll ever be back. Maybe she'll start her own channel, and then it'll be the three of us. We'll all have a channel.
It's not gonna happen to this, but
What's your channel
yeah.
going to be about?
I was gonna do makeup. Probably.
And her channel is unnamed, so you know, it's like.
To be determined.
You can follow me on Instagram.
Anyways, have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe, and see you guys next time. Say bye.
Bye.